Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we are doing something a little different.
Hmm.
Usually we're talking history or tech or, the mysteries of the universe. But today we're talking about the one thing that arguably stresses everyone out more than all of those combined.
Oh, yeah. Money.
Money. And look, I'll be honest. When I saw the book for today, How to Multiply Money, The Smart Path to Financial Freedom by Prabhadeva Venkatesan, my first instinct was to just kind of roll my eyes.
I get that.
There are a million of these books out there, and they all just scream at you to stop buying lattes and be miserable until you're 65.
That is a very fair reaction to the whole genre. But I think you found this one a little different.
I did, actually. And I think it starts with who she is. She's not some Wall Street guy in a fleece vest.
Not at all. She's an engineering graduate, but she's also an artist, a dancer, a writer. And that background is so important because she doesn't treat money like it's just cold, hard math.
She sees it as a tool for self-expression.
Exactly. For freedom. Her whole point isn't about getting rich just to be rich.
Right. And she really pushes back on this idea that wealth is some, mystical thing that only happens to other people.
The lucky ones.
Yeah, the ones who get a hot stock tip or inherit a fortune. She says it's just a repeatable series of small, smart moves. But the thing that really stuck with me, and I want to challenge you on this a bit, is her main metaphor.
Money as an employee.
Okay, but doesn't that sound a little, I don't know, cold? A bit corporate? Hire your dollars. It feels like I'm supposed to be running a business when I'm just trying to buy groceries.
I see what you mean.
Mm-hmm.
But think about the alternative. For most people, the dynamic is completely flipped.
Mm-hmm.
They're the employee, and money is the master. They work for it, they stress about it, they lose sleep over it. Van Kaysen is saying you have to flip that hierarchy.
So if I earn the dollar, it works for me.
It works for you. It needs a job description. Every single dollar has to clock in.
And if it's just sitting in my checking account earning nothing?
It's sleeping on the job. It should be doing something, securing your safety, paying down debt, or going out and recruiting more dollars for you.
All right, I can get on board with being the boss. So let's look at the roadmap she lays out. She's got these phases: awareness, momentum, growth, creation, and protection.
And it all starts with awareness.
Which brings us to the dreaded B word, budgeting.
The word everyone hates.
I hate it. It feels like a diet. It feels restrictive. How does she make this suck less?
Well, she kind of agrees with you. She says traditional budgets fail for the exact same reason crash diets fail.
They're unsustainable.
Totally. So instead, she proposes what she calls a dynamic allocation plan.
Okay, that just sounds like a fancy rebrand for budget.
It's a subtle but really important difference. A traditional budget is, looking backward. It's judgmental. Oh, no, I spent way too much on tacos last month.
Been there.
Dynamic allocation is proactive. You give every dollar a job before the month even starts. So you're not restricting spending, you're just directing it.
So it's awareness over judgment.
Yes. And there's this staggering stat in the book. Something like 78% of workers would be in serious trouble if their paycheck showed up 2 days late.
And that's not just low-income workers.
No, it includes high earners.
Okay.
It's that lifestyle creep we spend to cope.
This brings us to the story of Devin, the coffee guy. Now, this is usually where the finance guru says, if you just stop buying coffee, you'll be a millionaire. Is that what she does?
Thank goodness no.
Yeah.
Devin's story is way more nuanced. He tracks his spending for 30 days, right? And he finds this huge leak in the coffee category.
Okay.
But when he actually thought about it, he realized he didn't even like the coffee that much.
Wait, what?
He was drinking it, but he wasn't enjoying it. He realized that walking into his office holding that specific brand of cup, it made him feel successful. It made him feel like a professional.
It was an emotional purchase, a costume.
It was total emotional autopilot.
Yeah.
And Venkatesan's point isn't don't buy coffee. It's don't spend money unconsciously. If that latte is the best part of your day, great, buy it. But then cut the streaming service you forgot you even had.
And she has this great concept called the reset rule.
Ah, yes.
I loved this because normally if I blow my budget on day 5, I just, give up for the rest of the month.
The what the hell effect.
Yeah.
We all do it. Yeah. The reset rule says if you overspend in one category, let's say restaurants, you don't scrap the whole plan. You immediately move money from another category, like shopping, to cover it.
Yeah.
You balance the books instantly.
It keeps you in the game.
It keeps you in the game.
Okay, so we're aware. We're watching the money. Now we have to talk about defects, the emergency fund.
The fence around your financial garden.
I have to ask, though, if I'm already budgeting, why do I need a pile of cash just sitting there doing nothing? Shouldn't I be investing it to make it grow?
That is such a common mistake people make.
Right.
But think of your wealth like a garden you're trying to grow. The emergency fund is the fence. If you don't have that fence, the rabbits, a flat tire, a surprise medical bill,
A layout.
a layoff, they'll come in and eat all your crops. You'll have to sell your investments at the worst possible time or go into debt.
So the fence protects the garden.
And it protects your sanity.
Yeah.
There's a huge psychological shift when you have that cash cushion. A blown car engine goes from being a financial disaster to just an inconvenience.
But she's really strict about when you can use it, right? It's not for a flash sale on shoes.
Definitely not. She has a three-part filter. It has to be unexpected, necessary, and urgent.
Ugh.
All three. If it doesn't check all three boxes, the gate stays locked.
And how much are we talking? 3 to 6 months of expenses just sounds impossible when you're starting from zero.
It's so intimidating. She says to calculate a core survival number.
What's that?
Just the bare essentials: rent, utilities, food, not Netflix, not dinners out. And to build it, she suggests this thing called the rainy day moose.
I laughed at this. It's just a high-yield savings account, isn't it?
It is, but the name matters. Emergency fund sounds stressful. Rainy day moose sounds quirky and fun. You set up a tiny automatic transfer, maybe 20 bucks a week. You barely notice it's gone, but the moose keeps getting bigger.
Okay, so the moose is fed, the fence is up, now we got to deal with the heavy stuff. Debt. Van Katzen calls it bricks in a backpack.
Which is such a visceral image. You're trying to climb this mountain to financial freedom, but you're carrying 50 pounds of bricks. You have to empty the backpack first.
This is where I always get conflicted. You've got the avalanche method, pay the highest interest rate first, and the snowball, pay the smallest balance first. The math says avalanche is better, so why would anyone do the snowball?
Because we're not spreadsheets. We're human beings.
True.
And humans run on dopamine. If you have a huge loan that's going to take you 3 years to pay off, you might just lose motivation.
Yeah.
But if you have a tiny $500 balance and you kill it in 1 month,
That feels like a win. You get a gold star.
you do. And that momentum carries you to the next debt. But Vinkasan actually suggests a kind of hybrid approach.
Or milestone chunks.
Right. Let's say you have a $10,000 credit card debt. That's a demoralizing number. She says to mentally break it into 3 smaller loans. You just focus on knocking out that first chunk. When you hit it, you celebrate.
It tricks your brain.
It tricks your brain into getting that snowball victory feeling, even on a big avalanche-style debt.
And she tells the story of Maria here.
Maria is the perfect case study. Psychology over math. She had $50,000 in debt, looked hopeless on paper. But she started with a tiny little store credit card.
And when she paid it off.
Something just clicked. She saw that balance hit 0, and she realized she had agency. She was in control. That feeling is worth way more than the tiny bit of interest you save with the pure avalanche method.
Okay, one more tip in this section that I'm skeptical about. She says you can just call your credit card company and negotiate your interest rate. Does that actually work?
It works way more often than you'd think.
Really?
Yeah. Interest rates are products. They're negotiable. It costs those banks a lot of money to get a new customer, so they don't want to lose you. You call, you're polite, you say the rate is too high, and a lot of the time they'll lower it. Worst they can say is no.
Huh. All right, so we've ditched the bricks. We're debt-free. Now we pivot. We stop playing defense and we start playing offense.
The wealth engine. Investing.
This is where the real magic happens. She starts with a story about her grandmother's ledger.
The time machine effect. It's the difference between saving and investing.
Right. Saving is linear. You put $1 in, you get $1 out, basically.
Investing is exponential. Her grandmother showed her how money growing at 8% just doubles and redoubles over 40 years.
But people are terrified of the stock market. They hear investing and they picture, guys yelling on a trading floor or losing everything overnight. It feels like gambling.
It's a really common fear. And Venkatson uses this great analogy to address it, the spicy food analogy.
Break that down for me.
She says risk isn't inherently bad. Risk is just spice. If you have 0 spice-like cash under the mattress, the food is bland. Inflation just eats it.
Okay.
If you have too much spice-like betting everything on one meme stock, you completely burn your mouth. You have to match the spice level to your own palate, your own risk tolerance.
So if I panic easily, I should go for a mild curry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More bonds. Bonds are like the bread and yogurt that cools down the heat. If you're young and have a long time horizon, maybe you can handle the extra hot vindaloo of all stocks.
But she really pushes for boring investing.
Oh, yeah. Index funds. Don't try to find the needle, just buy the whole haystack.
Right. Buy a little bit of every company.
Bet on the whole economy, not one specific CEO. And she has this tool for when you mess up, which you will. The stupid tax journal.
I think every investor needs this.
100%. When you make a mistake, you panic sell in a dip, you buy a stock your cousin told you about, you write it down. You label it stupid tax. It's the tuition you paid to the market to learn a lesson.
My notebook could be full in a week. Okay, let's talk about the other big pillar of wealth she brings up, real estate. Now, full disclosure, the idea of being a landlord just sounds awful to me.
The 2 a.m. toilet call.
2 a.m. toilet call. No, thank you.
You're not alone. And Venkatson debunks that myth that real estate has to be that. She outlines 4 paths, and the first one is basically invisible. REITs.
That's R-E-I-T.
Right. Real estate investment trusts. It's basically a mutual fund, but for buildings.
So you're buying shares in a company that owns, like, shopping malls or data centers.
Exactly. Or apartment complexes. You get the dividends, which are like the rent checks, but you never have to touch a plunger. It's the easiest way in.
But for people who do want to get their hands a little dirty, she talks about house hacking.
This is a really powerful strategy, especially for younger people. It's a sacrifice, though. You buy a duplex or a triplex. You live in one unit and you rent out the others.
And the tenant's rent covers your mortgage.
Ideally, yeah. You're living for free.
Yeah.
But the trade-off is, well, you're living right next to your tenant.
Not for everyone.
Not for everyone. But she tells the story of Sarah, a graphic designer, who used this to build a ton of equity. The key takeaway from Sarah wasn't just that she bought a property, it's that she focused on cash flow.
Not just what she could afford.
Right. She didn't buy the prettiest house, she bought the one where the math worked.
Okay, so we have the portfolio, we might have some real estate. But if we want to speed this all up, we need more money coming in. Income expansion.
This is the big mindset shift from employee to entrepreneurial thinker. Always be scanning for problems you can solve.
And she breaks this down into active income versus passive income. I feel like passive income has become this huge buzzword online.
Oh, yeah.
Make money while you sleep. It always sounds like a bit of a scam.
It often is sold that way. But Venkatson brings it back down to earth.
Yeah.
She defines passive income with a simple formula, an asset plus a system.
It's not zero effort.
It is not zero effort. It's massive effort up front for a payout later.
Like the story of the woodworker.
Right. He builds a custom table. That's active income. He trades his time for money. He gets paid once. But then he films himself building it. He edits the video, writes up a guide, and sells it online as a course.
Which sounds like a ton of work.
It is a huge amount of work.
Yeah.
But once that course is uploaded, he can sell it 10,000 times without ever touching a saw again. The video, the asset, is now doing the work for him.
That distinction is so key. You're building an asset, not just finding a magic button. So now we're making all this money, but there's a silent partner who wants their cut.
The government. Taxes.
Most people just see taxes as a penalty, a fine for being successful.
And Venkatson just flips that completely.
Yeah.
She calls taxes a rule book of incentives. The government uses the tax code to encourage certain behaviors.
They want you to save for retirement, start a business.
Exactly. And when you do those things, they give you a discount on your taxes. If you play by their rules, you pay less.
She talks about the HSA, the health savings account. She calls it the triple tax win.
The unicorn.
I always thought HSAs were just for, buying contact solution.
That's what most people think.
Yeah.
But it's secretly one of the best investment vehicles that exists. Think about it. 1, money goes in, tax-free.
Lowers your income today.
2, that money can be invested in stocks and it grows completely tax-free. And 3, if you pull it out for medical expenses, even 20 years from now, it comes out tax-free.
Wait, so the government never touches it at any point?
Never. If you use it for health, it is the only account that is completely tax invisible from start to finish.
That is wild. I have been ignoring that box on my benefits form for years.
Most people do.
Okay, finally, let's touch on retirement. The 3 engines: government, employer, personal. But what I really liked was her message to the late starters, the people listening who are maybe 45 or 50 and thinking, oh, I just missed the boat.
She's very compassionate there. She talks about Sam and Aisha, a couple who woke up in their late 40s with almost nothing saved. But the system actually has tools for them. Catch-up contributions.
That's an official IRS term?
It is. The IRS lets older workers put way more money into their 401ks and IRAs. Sam and Aisha use that, plus some aggressive lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
They didn't retire at 50, but they retired secure.
The best time to start was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
That's the whole message.
And she talks about visualization here too. Not just a number on a spreadsheet, but a picture of the life you want.
You need a vivid why. For one person, it's that cottage in Provence. For another, it's just the freedom to quit a toxic job without panicking.
Yeah.
You need to see the destination.
So let's wrap this up. We've gone from buying coffee to negotiating interest rates to building these tax-free unicorns. It feels like a lot.
It's work, but it's the work of building a system.
And it all comes back to that first idea. Money is the employee, you're the boss.
Yeah. That is the one key takeaway. You have to be the CEO of your own life.
Which leads me to a thought I want to leave everyone with. We've been talking about money as an employee. So look in the mirror for a second. If your money is your staff, what kind of boss are you?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Are you the boss who ignores the staff, gives them no direction, and then screams when the company goes bankrupt? Or are you the boss who gives clear instructions, provides the right tools, and protects them?
Because if your employees, your dollars are failing, maybe the problem isn't them.
Maybe it's management. So go give your dollars a job description. Thanks for doing this deep dive.
See you next time.